Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Super Teas live stream. And in today's live stream, it's going to be a bit of a shorter stream. We're going to be reacting to the official World of Warcraft State of Azeroth that has been hyped up for like the past 3 days, it feels like, maybe even longer than that. It might have been a week this has been hyped up. It's being spammed in all of the official Warcraft discords. It's spammed on Twitter. It's spammed on every single piece of social media. They're going to be revealing how to get kind of like this housing decor piece for the Burning Crusade, which is basically just the dark portal. We do know, though, that you don't get it for just watching this. They're just going to reveal how you get it. I don't really know what to expect, mostly because they're doing BlizzCon this year and they didn't do it last year. So why would they, announce everything before that point? Because it's going to cost them so much money to do BlizzCon. You'd think they'd want to save the juicy stuff for that to get people to, buy the tickets and try and offset some of the costs. So to me, I'm personally keeping my expectations pretty low. I think that this is probably just going to be a game plan for stuff that we kind of already know. Maybe they'll reveal, the content of the next patch in World of Warcraft. I could see that, like the what is it, 12.1 or something like that, because we know where we're going right now for 12.0, but we don't know where we're going for 12.1. That is something that you probably don't need to save that for BlizzCon. That patch is probably coming out before BlizzCon anyways, so you can probably talk about stuff that will come out before BlizzCon. So but anything after BlizzCon, I feel like that's got to be off the table, right? Like, unless they plan to release Classic Plus before BlizzCon, would they be planning to do that? And also, what is Classic Plus even going to be? Do they have the resources to do that? What's up, Giant V Controller? Hello, and welcome to the live stream. What's up, Error? State of Azeroth. It's dead. To be fair, I saw some earnings posts, and Microsoft post their earnings, I think, and gaming is down 9%. And they were blaming gaming for something being the issue. So dead, I don't know. Declining, definitely. It's showing up on the metrics at least, but maybe it wasn't World of Warcraft. It could have been other titles as well, since they own a lot of them. Good morning, Corny. What's up, Cody Seal? You guys want Classic Plus? Okay, let me know what you guys want from this. I don't know when I'm going to need to refresh this in order to get the video to start, because there's no video playing, so I've just got the chat rolling. There's literally 30,000 people waiting for this, by the way. 36,000 people right now waiting for this. There's a lot of people anticipating what's in this. So while I'm saying my expectations are low, I almost feel like they need to trickle something major out of this, because they've grappled so many people's attention. If this is just some kind of basic format, I feel like they're going to be really disappointed. I think people are expecting something big, something hidden in there, and something big. Whereas I'm keeping my expectations low. I feel like there's no shot they're going to announce anything before BlizzCon of any sort of substance or weight. Sky the DM, thank you for subscribing. I have my alerters turned off right now. So if you send anything, it's just because I don't want the hype train trigger. I guess I can turn them on and then just turn the hype train off if it gets too annoying during the video, but I don't really want it to disrupt it, is the main thing. So I'll put the alerter on here, but sorry, so your sub didn't get noticed. I'm sorry about that, but I also just don't really want a random AI hype train coming in the middle of the video or something. I'm hoping my audio, I mixed my audio, so hopefully it's going to be good. If they announce console at this, it would be absolutely horrible PR. I'm just saying that. It would be just as bad as the you don't have phones guy. Which honestly, I feel like that guy got ragged on way harder. That guy was just ahead of his time. Mobile gaming was making money. Obviously, they should be transitioning to mobile, but I feel like that guy got ragged on way too hard. I feel like Diablo Immortal ended up banking them a lot of money. So I don't know. I feel like that guy got hurt a little hard. And the same thing with going to console. Going to the console is not, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. But I feel like because Ian has said in the last 3 or so months publicly that it's not console, it would be really weird to say that in this, they are dragging so much hype into this announcement. There's no way they're going to announce something like that. It would just be horrible PR. Here's my playbook. You guys can write this down. This is my prediction. Okay. It's going to start off with very wholesome, nostalgia, community-oriented stories. That's how it's going to start out. It's going to be about pulling heartstrings, you know, right? That's what it's going to be about. Community, heartstrings, emotional, sentimental. It's going to be that type of vibe, right? For probably, I don't know how long the announcement is. Let's say it's 30 minutes. 10 minutes of it will be that. It'll be like Blizzard employees maybe and their stories. That's what I'm feeling. They're gonna try and hit the heartstrings, which is good. I think it's a good lead in. And then they're gonna outline the roadmap, which they've already said. That's not like I'm making some sort of absolutely crazy prediction. They'll do the roadmap, which will probably show everything up to BlizzCon or something like that. It'll probably show like 0.1 patch. Maybe it'll show some sort of housing update if they have something planned for that. Like they seem to be really onto housing, right? Like they're doing that Zillow, is that how you say it? They literally partnered up with Zillow, which is like a real life real estate type of website, type of business. So they'll probably have something related to housing, I imagine, just because they've been so on it. They just paid for like this football ad and it was all about housing. So I imagine there's going to be something about housing. There's got to be something about Classic because they, like right now, MOP is just sitting in permanent purgatory. So I'd imagine that either it's going to be like WoD Classic or Legion Classic. I could see that happening. That seems like a realistic expectation. The only reason they wouldn't announce that is if they didn't think it was worth it. I don't know how much it costs. You haven't missed anything yet, Sinjay. It's not starting for like another 7 minutes. I'm going to refresh this because I don't know if this video will start on its own because it says it premieres in 60 seconds, but that's 10 minutes before it's supposed to. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. What happened with this thing, dude? What is going on with this? I accidentally deleted the chat trying to close the AI summary. All right. You want Classic Plus injected? I do think that it would be very silly for them not to. Even though I'm not somebody who's like a very big Classic player anymore. Like I loved the game originally, but it's the same thing. Like loved old school RuneScape originally, but I can't. I feel like I've just moved past it. I can't go back. But I think there's a lot of people who do really want it, and it would be unwise for them not to do it. The fact that Season of Discovery, like the final phases, like the Karazhan Crypt Dungeon, and then the Scarlet Raid that they did, I feel like those two were very cool pieces of content. Like those were examples of like Classic Plus, with new gear and new areas of the world that you didn't get to explore, you know, the original time around. I feel like that was, you know, that was probably the best part of SOD. The beginning was cool because everybody was on board with it, but it just stalled, right? And then they started implementing retail features with daily, weekly stuff, and then nobody cared by the time they got to the end game, which had the coolest part of Season of Discovery. So I feel like they should have led with the new stuff, but maybe they can do something like that with Classic Plus. So there's a bunch of people watching this right now, dude. IGN is live watching it. Everybody is watching this, dude. It's up to 50,000 people, bro. This like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried. I'm actually worried. Oh, it's starting. Okay, it's starting. Should we leave their chat open so we can see the reactions to the chat? Or should we close the chat? I think this is too loud. I gotta fix this. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I don't know if I should leave the chat open so we can see the reactions. Maybe I'll move myself over here so I'm not blocking whatever is gonna happen on the screen. There's probably a way for me to make this like bigger so we can see everything, because I kind of want the reactions. I feel like the reactions are gonna be important. So let's try and make this a little bigger so that we can get everything and have it look a little more professional here. A little professional. Oh, too big. Okay, we're not gonna be able to do that because it's just too big. It's gonna look a little scuffed no matter what I do. You guys can see the chat on that, right? I don't want to block the screen either, but like, what if there's some insane cinematic I want to be like full screen for? What do you guys think? Full screen, chat reactions? You guys get to decide. This is a collaborative effort. People just spam rubbish anyways. Okay, maybe we'll just do full screen then. Let me, I don't have a lot of time, bro. I'm panicking. Bro, I'm actually worried. I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared right now. Like, what if this announcement sucks? Oh wait, the chat is on the what? What? Like, I'm legit. I don't know where to put my webcam now. Okay. Video capture. All right, 3 minutes, dude. I don't know what to expect. I'm actually worried. I'm legitimately worried. It'll either be glorious or get memed on. Yeah, but I really, like, I feel like WoW needs a W right now, bro. WoW needs a big, major W right now, and that's why I'm really worried. It's just like this they've hyped it up so much is what I'm concerned about. Like, this video has been talked about for weeks. And I've seen this video spammed in like the private content creator discords. Like, everybody's been hyping up this announcement, this state of address. Like, and then obviously the community reaction to the pre-patch has not been excellent. They made some major improvements actually to the UI on the beta. The damage meter is a lot more functional. I saw a lot of people upset though about the Paladin rework that I just covered yesterday. I don't think PvP is going to be mentioned. I'm throwing that out there now. I don't know what the audio mix is too loud. If the video is too loud over my voice or not, or if that's good. I think it's in a decent spot right now. They've all lowered a little bit. They've got the vanilla music. Vanilla music is a good sign for Classic Plus. They also have like a fusion of classic images, right? With this dwarf and then midnight on the top and then housing. So Mop is in here too. You see the panda? So there's classic, Mop, and midnight. So I definitely think they're gonna talk about where Mop is going. That's something I think that they can talk without BlizzCon, right? They don't need to care about BlizzCon to do that. They're gonna talk about player housing, for sure. I mean, I think the main purpose of this video is it's an ad, right? Like, 80% chance this video is intended as an ad. Plunderstorm is returning? I don't know about that. I don't even think they're gonna say the word PvP. Okay, this is like, I don't even think they're gonna say. Don't go into this expecting them to say the word PvP. I doubt it. The WoD Classic. I think that it'll probably be like they'll tail it on at the end if they do, for WoD Classic or something like that. I doubt they'll announce Plunderstorm. They might reveal they were gonna do a new game or something, but I feel like they should have released that on the pre-patch if they were gonna do a new game. But I'm not expecting them to mention PvP. If they mention PvP, they'll literally just talk about the new Epic BG as an ad. That's, again, I'm going into this expectations very low. Yeah, the very scary haunted game they were gonna make. That's what that's what I mean. Like, what happened to that? I thought this would be the best time to come out because there's not a lot to do other than waiting 10 minutes for a rare spawn. Okay, here we go. All right, this is the community-oriented stories from Blizzard. That's my prediction. It starts out with 10 minutes of pulling heartstrings. Crescent, thank you for the 8 months. Oh my god, we get a BlizzCon countdown. Don't bug out.
So let's get right into it.
Housing.
Labyrinths.
WoW Classic.
BlizzCon.
So what does this all mean?
What are these subtitles?
This is going to be one for the ages.
Okay. One for the ages. Dragonflight? Cataclysm? Okay. We're just community heartstrings. Going through the history of the game.
To protect home.
Turn it up a bit. I'm trying to.
Harmony.
Oh, community heartstrings, BlizzCon videos. So far I'm right. 10 minutes of this is my expectation.
This fight is far from over, and Azeroth needs her champion. Now, more than ever.
Okay. What the hell is that? Is that a car?
Whatever's coming, I'll stand with
Wait,
you.
it's too loud now? You guys need to make up your mind, dude. Okay, the intro is over. Now let's get to business. How are you going to start this off, bro? 50,000 people waiting.
Welcome to the state of Azeroth.
Okay.
When I was thinking about what the state of Azeroth actually means, I started to reflect on why we started doing annual updates in the first place. I remember in 2022 when we were in the twilight of the Shadowlands expansion and Dragonflight was about to launch. The Classic team was cooking on the Burning Crusade and prepping Wrath of the Lich King Classic. It was around this time that a new era emerged for the WoW team. One where we were rapidly evolving and storming toward the future with you on our minds. We created what we call the Live Team to not only support a new 8-week patch cadence, but also noodle on experimental gameplay in modern WoW. This led to Mists of Pandaria Remix, Legion Remix, Plunderstorm, Overcharge Delves, and more. This energy allowed us to be more confident, more committed, and more excited than ever before for both modern and classic WoW. And it led us to share our first ever long-term roadmap to bring us closer to the community that inspires us. Our confidence and commitment since those days has not wavered, and we will continue to share our plans. So what does this all mean? Then and now. It means you are the spark that lights our way. The Warcraft universe has lived for 3 decades because of players who make it meaningful and who give us the opportunity and creative energy to make even more of it. Today, we're on the cusp of the Midnight expansion, and we're excited for the stories that will be told, the memories made, and the triumphs we will earn together as we defend our world once again. Light versus Void has been ever present in WoW.
She mentioned
We will
Plunderstorm.
charge into the fray with the Heronir and Devourer demon hunters by our side.
All right, it's an ad.
The campaign of Midnight is the kind of story that will find your heart. Whether you've just joined us in Azeroth, been with us the entire 21 years, or somewhere in between. Together, we will experience all that Midnight has to offer as we work our way toward the 3rd and final installment of the World Soul Saga, called The Last Titan.
Oh, maybe they will
We will
give
learn
news
what
with
it means
that.
to carry loss and still move forward. Heroism isn't perfection. It's a winding road of choices we make when things are hardest. And when our idea of the world is shattered, our notion of home will be paramount. There must be time for rest, creativity, and community. In short, housing. You've been asking for this feature since the
Called
early
that.
days of WoW. We wanted to build it, and we knew it had to live up to 20 years of hopes
Heartstrings,
and dreams.
housing. I'm so
And
far
on
2
top
for
of
2.
that, whatever housing started with, it had to be poised to grow and evolve over many years and be guided by our players. And here we are, with player housing about to enter full release with the Midnight expansion. During housing early access, you have absolutely blown our minds. In the first 2 weeks alone, you all spent over 4 million hours in your houses and neighborhoods. That's over
How do they have that data?
450 years. And you placed over 14 million decor items in that time. The most gold has been spent on the secretive bookcase wall, of course, because who doesn't love a secret door? I always say, never underestimate players, and thank you for proving me right over and over again. It's been a beautiful reminder that everyone enjoys Azeroth in their own way. And on that note, we want to see even more of that creativity. We recently announced the launch of Azeroth Interiors, which is our Midnight Renovation Challenge. This is a global invitational for WoW creators and community members who are competing in a battle unlike anything we've ever seen before. Instead of swords and shields, their weapons are mood boards, boundless creativity, and finesse with our tools. So head over to your favorite creator channels and check out their concepts for what they will be building over the next month. Over
House
time, our
PvP.
updates to housing will be driven by what you want and what you need to make your dreams real as you continue to explore, imagine, and push the tools to their limits. We'll have more about the updates you can expect in housing in a few moments. If you've played WoW before, one of the coolest parts about housing when you open up your inventory for the first time is to see all the housing items you've collected without even knowing it because of achievements you got in past expansions. It's like a trip down memory lane. And speaking of memories, let's talk about WoW Classic. Over the past 6 years, I really can't believe it's been 6 years.
We're already on to
Classic has been
classic.
an expression of love for the early years of WoW and bringing it to you in a variety of flavors. Between our hardcore, seasonal, and progression realms, you've shown us the ongoing potential of WoW and Classic are limitless. We take that to heart, and we will continue to honor that. Today, Miss of Pandaria Classic continues in the original Classic realms.
This is
with the
fluff,
next major
bro. We already know
milestone
that it
being
was
the
going to do
release
this.
of the Escalation update in a few weeks. It
This
includes
is
the
just
new
mop
quest
patches.
campaign, new battlegrounds, scenarios, and
I guess
more.
the time frame?
We're going to release the Mists of Pandaria patches over time as we have with previous expansions, and you can expect the Siege of Orgrimmar and the return of Timeless Isle later this year.
I feel like everybody knew this.
The launch of Burning Crusade Classic on our anniversary realms is also
Oh my
on our
God, bro.
doorstep.
Burning Crusade ends
Another
in
round
1
of
year.
Illidan taunts and Fel Reaver
It's going to
terrors.
end in autumn.
The Outlands, Kara, Mag, and more are coming later
This is a
year,
speed
too.
run.
We also launched seasonal Titan Reforged realms in Classic for our players in China. Why?
We
Not
can't
only
play it
are
there.
our audiences between Modern and Classic unique, but so are our WoW players in China. We made those realms for them, based on how they play. And that's not all we're cooking up. I can say with confidence that all Classic players across the globe have a lot to look forward to. I'm really excited to announce that...
What is this?
I guess we'll save that for later.
Oh my
So,
God, there's no...
Back to where I began. What is the state of Azeroth?
You're really going to
It's
stream...
alive in
I was
all
worried
its
that this is what it was gonna be.
Incredibly vibrant and getting brighter. And we plan to keep it that way with your help and guidance as we listen
gonna
to your
string this
feedback
hype
and
along.
act on it. Soon you will
It's a
see
hype
us
video
launch
to
surveys
string
and
the
games
hype.
so we can get your thoughts and feedback. Listening to you is our commitment. We mean it, and we aim to keep proving it. We want to give you the place, space, and tools to play how you want to play and live how you want to live in Azeroth. That's our North Star. We want our humble universe to be the place you go to when you have a bit of free time, when you need to recharge alongside your friends and family after a long day, or when you need an escape. Let off steam by conquering a boss, role-playing, now decorating, mogging, PvPing, exploring.
PvP
whatever.
mentioned.
A fantasy home in every sense, where strangers become
I
friends
was wrong.
and friends become neighbors. And we have a plan to help those of you looking for your people, those players who enjoy the same things in WoW that you do. We're calling it the WoW Ambassador Program,
What?
which is all about the community helping the community. As
Doesn't
it
this
often
already
does.
exist?
This is less about us and more about you. A bit of an experiment to help connect you with players and communities that are filled with others who play how you play,
What's
or
the
how you want
what does
to
that
play.
mean, ambassador
Our
program?
ambassadors are helpful friends from within our very own WoW community, and you can check out our website for more details. As you know, community
Twitch
is
try and
our
do something like
mainstay.
that and it didn't
And
work
in the
out?
era of housing, we wanted to do what we can to support those who need more than pixels when it comes to having a place to live. This year,
Yeah, didn't
we're
we have the
excited to be
community
partnering
council
with
already?
Habitat for Humanity with a charity pet pack that we hope, with your support, will help provide safety and shelter to families in need of affordable homes. Habitat for Humanity has helped more than 65 million people globally. This charity pet pack includes the adorable Rufus, who will be available in both Modern and Classic WoW. Rufus loves to build, something you'll see in action if he's left idle for too long. Those of you who play Modern WoW will also get a doghouse, a bowl, and a bed. We're incredibly excited
Oh my God,
to be
people want
supporting
that, dude. The
Habitat for
dog bed?
Humanity
What?
this year, and we'll have more information to share about how you can bring Rufus home soon. As always, you are our heroes, our heartbeat, and our gratitude is everlasting. I'll see you at BlizzCon 2026, and of course, at home in Azeroth.
Is that it? There's no way that's it. 60,000 people were waiting. It's got to be like an Ian Hazakostas portion, right?
Hey everyone,
Okay.
and thank you, Holly. I'm Ian Hazikostas, Game Director for World of Warcraft. I want to start off by saying thank you, as always, to our community, for your continued passion, for the time you put into this world, and for your boundless creativity. It has been so amazing seeing so many folks jump into housing over the last couple of months. I'll be talking more about this later, but I just wanted to start out by saying, on behalf of everyone who had any part in bringing housing to life, that we are simply in awe of what you've already created.
Oh, that's
We
a
knew
cool
you'd make
foosball
incredible
table.
homes, but the community response has just blown away our expectations. There simply is no World of Warcraft without you, our community. We are honored to be a part of this world and humbled to be the caretakers of something that has remained so special and so important to so many people for so long. Today, I'd like to share with you a bit of what we're up to with World of Warcraft, in terms of the right now present stuff, the fast approaching launch of Midnight, and a small peek at some of the bigger things that we have planned for 2026. Now, obviously, I can't go too far into all the details, especially with so many of our plans tied up in story spoilers and us wanting to keep some surprises. But we think there is a ton to look forward to for all residents of Azeroth in the year ahead. So let's get right into it. As we stand here today, we are just over a month from launching Midnight and getting the game into your hands. The team is working hard to polish up the last details of the expansion, iron out bugs, refine features, and just overall get this thing ready for you to dive into in March. But between now and then, there's still plenty to do and see in WoW today.
Okay.
We are kicking off the Midnight pre-launch event called Twilight Ascension. This event will run until Midnight's launch on March 2nd.
We already know about this
This
stuff.
is where the stakes start to crystallize, and the threat we face begins to take real shape,
Unless it's
and
the
the
new part of
void
it.
makes itself felt in our world. This is a repeatable event in which you'll join Magister Umbric and Grand Magister Ramath in their efforts to keep the Twilight's Blade at bay at locations around the world. You'll be killing rares, completing world quests, and defeating bosses as you earn limited time rewards like pets, mounts, transmogs, and of course, some fresh housing decor for your home. The 12.0 pre-patch that recently went live also includes a ton of the new features and improvements that are tied to Midnight. Demon Hunters out there can get started playing the new Void-themed Devourer range specialization. Or Void Elf Demon Hunters can be unlocked with a short quest line. Some of the baseline systems improvements and updates that went live include our new Transmog 2.0 system, which includes situational outfit swapping, an improved UI, and finally, slot-based transmog, so you don't have to constantly re-transmog every time you get an upgrade. For players new to PvP, learn the ropes in the training grounds. Expanding and revamping the idea found in Compstom, players will join a battle against smarter game-controlled opponents in Arathi Basin, Silver Shard Mines, and Battle for Gilneas. Also kicking off this week is the Winds of Mysterious Fortune, a limited-time event where XP and
Why did his
reputation
voice
gains
sound
are
different in
boosted
that
across the
recording?
board, especially reputation. We think this is another great way to get caught up ahead of Midnight, whether it's leveling an alt to join the fray or fast-tracking some of those rep-based decor items that you've been chasing. And as part of this celebration of Midnight, we are granting a special limited-time Dark Portal decor item to every player with an active WoW subscription who logs in between now and the launch of the expansion.
It's literally just sub and you
Finally,
get it?
Welcome Back Weekend also starts today. If you're not currently subscribed to WoW, but you've had a subscription in the past, from now until February 1st, you can explore the WoW base game for free up to level 80, including all level up content.
Oh my god, they're
pre-launch
actually doing
events,
like a
the
full
recent system updates
free-to-play
I've been talking
experience.
about, a completely
That's what they need to
overhauled
do to get
returning
new
player
people.
experience, and more than 20 years of Azeroth's world and story. We are so excited about Midnight and all that's been going on with WoW, and we really want to make sure that we're making it easy for you to come check it all out.
You had to have a sub. What do you mean have a sub?
The level cap is of course increasing to 90, and you'll be leveling through 4 new and reimagined zones, full of new questing content, both campaign chapters as well as local stories, and additional chapters waiting for you at max level. Midnight is introducing 8 new dungeons, 11 new delves, and a new delve companion, Valera, as well as the praise system to add a layer of depth, challenge, and intrigue to your outdoor world gameplay. We have new PvP features coming in Midnight, like the new epic battleground Slayer's Rise, which also exists as an outdoor world space for those of you who prefer world PvP in war mode. You can also spend some time in the Arcantina, a mystical tavern where you can rub elbows with some big names in WoW lore, learn more about them, and complete quests on their behalf. Now, a couple of weeks after launch, Season 1 will kick off in full. That update will pull the story forward through a host of new content. First off, we have the 6-boss raid, the Voidspire, that really is going to be the beginning of a capstone to the story that we're telling at the start of Midnight. We're also going to have a smaller 1-boss raid called the Dream Rift, as well as 4 new world bosses in the outdoor world. As we kick off our seasons, we're going to have a new pool of Mythic Plus dungeons, 4 new Midnight dungeons along with 4 updated Legacy dungeons, our new Delve season, and of course a new PvP season where you can test your skills and
Oh, they
earn
showed the
cutting-edge
Glad mount.
rewards. And with the training grounds I mentioned earlier, hopefully there'll be a smoother on-ramp into PvP for those who are trying to get into the ecosystem for the first time. Now, a couple of weeks after that, we're also going to have a third raid zone, the March on Caldenas, a new 2-boss raid that really caps off this initial chapter of the Midnight story and brings us closer to what will come next. The addition of story mode to World of Warcraft has made it so that any player can experience these moments for themselves, and we want to continue to lean in, giving you ways to live the story of Azeroth no matter how you choose to play. Whether you want to jump in and tackle raids, do delves, or just hang out in the Arcantina and have a chat. Our goal, as always, is to give you lots to do and tons to choose among, and we can't wait to see how you choose to adventure across the unfolding story of Midnight.
Nothing new? Not a crumb?
As I said earlier, we have been utterly
Oh my God, is that a
overwhelmed by
rocket?
your creativity and your ingenuity
Cthulhu
during
sound?
housing so far, and of course, by your feedback. As Holly said, we want you to help us build this feature together. We want to hear more of what you're interested in, more of what's working and what's not working. And your feedback
I
is
think that's it,
directly
because she
informing
ended
the
with the
decisions we make.
feedback speech, and he's going to end
You've
with the
already
feedback
seen
speech,
some
I guess.
quality of life improvements
I
go
think this is
over the
it.
last couple of months, but we're keeping a close eye on housing to continually improve the feature from every angle, whether we're talking about economy adjustments, UI updates, or all new functionality. We want to keep finding opportunities to support the creative expression that you invent, like making it easier to float your house, for example. Right off the bat, there's a couple of things we already have in mind. We've heard from many of you that your cozy creation doesn't quite feel complete without the ability for some of your companion pets to wander around it and get into trouble.
I don't even think this is
we
new.
want
Didn't
to
they say
offer
they're
the
going to do
ability
this?
to
The
place
pet
those
stuff?
pets there, as well as showcasing more of your cosmetic collections in general. Like, for example, being able to hitch a couple of your favorite mounts up in your yard outdoors. We're working on delivering that as well. We've also seen and heard that as you're expressing that boundless creativity and maybe making something like, say, a grand piano that you cobble together from a dozen different decor pieces, it can be frustrating when you realize that you have your grand creation, but it's not quite in the spot you want it to be in, and you want to move it just a few feet over to the side. Right now, you pretty much have to deconstruct and reconstruct the thing to do that. Well, we want to make it so that you can just click and drag, mass select the multiple pieces, and move them over. While we're at it,
I mean,
let's
that's
also
good.
have the ability to copy and paste. So if you
It's not
want to have
bad,
a
it's
few of those
good.
grand pianos, you can just copy, paste, 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 and there you go. Now, speaking of copying and pasting, we've also heard from many of you that as you're browsing these amazing creative designs that your fellow players are coming up with, you wish that it would be easier to just grab them and import them as a starting point for your own experimentation. Or maybe you've cooked up something that you're really proud of and you want to share it with your friends or the community at large. So we're working on creating import and export codes for easy sharing and exchanging of your house designs. Along the way, to give you even more freedom in what you can do, you're going to see decor budgets, both for interior and exterior placement, continue to increase. Some of that is the product of things we're learning about technical limits on the system, but also just a desire to give ongoing progression as you're able to level up your house more and more. That's some of the stuff we're working on, definitely not a complete list, but we're keeping an eye on bigger things for housing as well. Once neighborhood endeavors go live with Midnight launch, we'll be paying very close attention to just how they liven up your neighborhoods and how you interact with them to determine how best to support the things you want to see from that feature.
We're going to see if everybody stops interacting
All
with
of this
that.
is just the ground floor for housing in World of Warcraft. This is the foundation of a feature that we want to be a reflection of your life and times in Azeroth, and we're serious about expanding it and improving it alongside you in the years to come. So again, thank you so much for your passion and your feedback so far. Keep telling us what you
Woodworking
want from
profession would
housing,
be sick,
and we
though.
will keep listening, and we will keep it coming.
Okay, might be the first
Now,
new thing.
it's time to get into the content updates.
Everything
you
has
can
been
look
an ad
forward
so
to
far. This is
beyond
the new
launch
stuff.
of Midnight. We have a few things to share today, starting with more specific plans, and then getting a bit more vague as we move later into the year with details to follow.
That's expected.
So first off, shortly after Midnight's launch, patch 1205 will hit our public test realm. This update finds us in the immediate
What is
aftermath
Prop Hunt?
of those Season 1 raids, which, would you believe, didn't quite fully resolve the threat that Xal'atath poses to Azeroth. And so we're going to see void assaults begin to pop up
like
across
Legion
the outdoor
assaults.
world. These will bring new enemies for us to fight, new reasons to rally to defend Azeroth, and of course, new rewards along with it. On the lighter side, we're also going to be adding a prop hunt-inspired event as a small diversion from this pitched battle raging between the light and the
Core
dark.
duel.
In this event, you're going to queue up and find yourself on a team facing off against another small team of 5 in a location like Silvermoon City or the Alliance and Horde neighborhoods, where one team uses enchantment and illusion to disguise themselves cleverly as innocuous props and try to hide in
I
the
think this is a
environment,
good
while
idea.
the other team tries to seek them out.
I don't know what
This event is
the
not gonna
gameplay
do
will
much when
actually
it
be
comes to
like, but I
beating
swear
back
this is
the
a good
void and
idea.
saving Azeroth. But it is a way to find some fun in the face of an
Hopefully it's
ever-present,
smooth
ever-growing
with the
threat.
WoW engine, but I swear
Our
that's
next
actually a
small
good idea.
update, 1207, brings a further escalation of these void assaults, but also a standalone one-boss raid. We're excited to get away from the idea of raids being consigned to just these massive twice-a-year updates. And we want
Race
to
to
lean
World
more into
First
the
is in
flexibility of
shambles right
matching
now,
the
bro. They
content
can't
that we
afford
offer
to
the
produce a
narrative
one-boss
and
race.
just fun opportunities that we see to tell stories of different shapes and sizes.
Race to World First people are
All
mad,
of this
bro.
brings us to the first major Midnight content update, 12.1. Now, I can't reveal the name, setting, or really much of anything specific about this update yet, but I can share that 12.1 will bring with it a large new outdoor questing space full of max level content, a new raid, and of course new seasons, so an updated Mythic Plus dungeon pool, new PvP and Delve rewards, and the continued refinements and expansion that you'd expect from a major content update in WoW. This patch is also going to bring an overhaul of our friend system that makes it easier for you to keep up with friends you have and make new friends along the way. Next up comes
BlizzCon.
12.1.5,
Oh, they're gonna show more Midnight
which brings
stuff.
with it an all-new content type. We have seen how passionately the community has
All-new
taken to
content type.
Delves, and we want to support this with even more flexibility and experimentation. For those of you who love Delve gameplay, but wish there were something a little more than the bite-sized experiences we currently offer, we are adding a new feature that we're currently calling Labyrinths. These are inspired by mega dungeons in a sense, and labyrinths are large, sprawling Delve experiences that you can tackle all at once
What
or
the-
just a bit at a time, depending on your schedule and preference. They're going to have a different form and reward structure than you're used to seeing in your Delves, but they will keep the core elements of exploring and besting foes alongside your trusty Delve companion. Beyond that, and also in 12.1.5, we are planning another small one-boss raid in this window.
Oh
Unlike
my
the
god,
raid in
Race to World
1207,
First is completely
which
in
is more of a
shambles,
standalone
bro.
thing,
There's
this
no
raid
way
is
they
going
can
to be a
afford
direct
to produce a
continuation
one-boss
of
race.
Midnight's narrative, bridging us and setting the stage for the next major update in the following year, which we'll talk about down the line. Later in the year, we also have a new standalone event coming from the same group of mad scientists who brought you game modes like Plunderstorm.
Oh,
or
this is
Remix.
it.
We'll have more to share on this as we get closer
That's
to the
supposed to
date.
be the spooky
This is
game.
going to be another separate standalone mode that exists alongside the core World of Warcraft loop. And all of this, of course, is going to be accompanied by the steady, fast flow of content that you're used to seeing. Holiday updates, events like Turbulent Timeways, and much more. We want to keep moving at the live service pace you've come to expect since Dragonflight and that we've continued through the War Within, making sure there's always something new and exciting on the horizon. Now that's the big stuff we have to share right now, but there's still way more to come in Midnight and in World of Warcraft as a whole, and we can't wait for you to see it. We also have this little thing called BlizzCon coming up
Buy
in
tickets?
just under 8 months. And while I can't say too much
Are they
today,
selling
what I
tickets?
can say is that this is going to be one for the ages.
No.
We really
Oh
hope
my
to see
god,
you
there's
there
no way they made a
and to
hype
show you
video
some
to
of
hype
how we're
stream the
thinking
hype.
about the next 20 years of everything Warcraft.
The next
You're
20
not going to want
years.
to miss this one. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you to every single member of this community
20
for
years,
being a
what?
part of the journey with us. But before we go, however, I just want to share one last thing.
Classic Plus.
We know the Void and Xalatath are dark threats, and that the
Midnight?
stakes are high, and the tone of Midnight can be dire. But we also never want to forget that Azeroth is, for all of us, home. It's a place of light, community, family, and friends. This is a world that could warm the heart of even the Prince of Darkness.
What is that? What is that, bro? You have my attention? What is this? Is this a new game? What, is this?
Yes. Hey.
StarCraft sounding music, bro. I swear.
No time for play.
What? I mean, that's a good ad, bro. I'm not. That's a good ad. That is a good housing ad, bro. I swear. That was a good ad. Is that it? I think that's it. Where did the chat go? I want the chat.
So let's get right into it.
Oh, the chat's already gone.
Housing.
Labyrinths,
Wow, classic.
BlizzCon.
So what does this all mean?
Okay, well, I'm not. I feel like I predicted the video pretty spot on, didn't I? Did I predict the video? Because I was like, there's no way they can reveal anything of significance because BlizzCon. They wouldn't just do that. There's no way they would just do a random online announcement of anything, right? There's no way. So I was right about the community heartstring stuff. I was right about the ads of everything. The housing cinematic was pretty cool, but it still kind of just fits under the umbrella of the ad. What else happened? What else did we see? I'm just going to replay the video. They showed like one boss raids and the labyrinth feature. That was new, right? I feel like people, dude, raiders are going to be mad, bro. Like competitive raiders that make money off of raiding, I feel like they're going to be mad, bro. There's no way you like a one boss race to world first. Can you even do that? Can you even do that? I just, you know what I'm really worried about is that people are going to be mad about this announcement. It's like type 1 if you feel mad about this. Yeah, the prop hunt. The prop hunt was something new. I feel like we were expecting more, no? Like maybe you're not mad, maybe like a little bit disappointed just because you're expecting more. Like it was so hyped up. I feel like this thing was announced for like days. Yeah, I kind of wondered if they were going to do a cinematic showing for The Last Titan or something. I mean, they're not going to announce class tuning on a video like this. This has no way. They're not going to be like, and guys, we know Devourer Demon Hunter's been really OP. We're nerfing it 50%. That's just not going to be in this type of video, my guy. It's just not. It's just not going to be that. It's just not. There's no way, dude. They're not going to put that in this video. I just, you know, the bigger concern I have is that what they've done is they've built up so much hype for this video and now they've compounded it into BlizzCon. So if BlizzCon doesn't deliver, bro, I think like they had that moment with Holly where she was about to leak something and someone's like, no, you can't say that. So, oh, we have to save that for BlizzCon. Like that moment, I swear that moment, like that's compounding a lot of energy. And then saying the next 20 years, that's compounding a lot of energy. If they teased a new spec, I just feel like development wise there's no way they would have a new spec. You have to look at it from a functional standpoint, right? Like producing everything they're producing right now, there's no way there's new stuff. I doubt it. It's all about polishing what they have right now before it releases, I'd assume. Zillow collabs? I mean, they're already doing a Zillow thing. The only thing though is like, I wish that like they announced the housing tournament. I wish that in videos like this they would announce MDI and AWC. You know what I mean? I feel like that would have been, I guess, I don't know. They felt comfortable, highlighting the housing esport thing, but I don't know. Saying something about that would have been, at least new. Like, hey, we've got teams competing to qualify to play at BlizzCon. You can see them live, and this is going to be how they get there. Like that, maybe that could have been in on this video. Well, I mean, I think they care about housing because it's been so massively positive, right? It's one of those things where like you see like housing is so popular. I think I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer or whatever, but I don't like, unless they do watch parties for the player housing event, I'm worried about its viewership. Because I feel like housing is one of those things where it's like, it's fun to play, but is it fun to watch? There's lots of stuff like that, right? Like lots of games that have millions of players, but is it fun to watch? I guess like seeing the unique builds maybe, and you can like take the ideas for yourself. Maybe that would be a reason to drive people to watch it. This was just the WoW one. They split the other games onto other days. Yeah, I don't. You guys like this isn't abnormal. It's the new feature. Like they wouldn't post numbers unless they were really happy with numbers, because they normally don't, right? Like at this part of the video, they put 4 million hours. They wouldn't showcase a stat unless it was a good stat. Is my point. Why is my phone ringing? Is that an alarm? I don't think I set an alarm. Yeah, there've been a lot of channels doing their award shows, but I feel like there's not really been any big one. You know what I mean? You want to see something happening with StarCraft 2? My guy, I don't know if that's gonna. I feel like RTS. I think the only way that they would have done something with StarCraft 2 as an RTS at least would have been if Stormgate, which was like ex StarCraft devs, I think, and some other games, they made an RTS on their own, and that game has not been doing well. I would imagine nobody wants to work on an RTS right now. Now, I could see like extraction shooter maybe with like a StarCraft skin. Maybe that's something they would work on, but they wouldn't announce. This was supposed to be a WoW announcement. This isn't like a Blizzard announcement. They say it's only housing. It's because, well, the thing is the people who watch my channel and they watch my stream, you guys are hyper focused into one segment of the game. And basically you have blinders to anything else, right? Like if it doesn't increase your arena rating or whatever, you don't care. It doesn't even exist to you, right? And it's the same thing for other creators. If they're doing dungeon content, they put blinders on to everything else. But there is a massive like cozy community that probably doesn't even watch Twitch that really likes the housing thing. They're going to really like the prop hunt thing. They're probably really going to like the fact that they get their pets and their mounts in the house. Like there's a massive cozy RP community that just doesn't have a voice in these types of channels because they're not watching the hyper competitive stuff. Maybe some of them do, but I wouldn't think like the majority of them do. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I feel like the classic people got baited. Like retail people, there was some stuff in this. There was new stuff in this for retail, but for classic, it was literally just, yep, pay attention to BlizzCon. What? We're like, yeah, here are the last 2 patches of MOP. You knew you were gonna get that. Here's how TBC goes. You knew you were gonna get that. I guess maybe how fast you get it, but what was the biggest thing they announced? I think Prop Hunt. Was Prop Hunt the biggest thing they announced as far as new stuff? Like, I mean, I get one boss raids, but it's like it's a raid. You know, there's gonna be a raid. As far as like what, like a new thing, the Prop Hunt was literally the biggest thing. I'm pretty sure as far as new stuff, and then pets and mounts. But they've already said that. I swear they said that before, that they're working on pets and mounts. That's not like new to this. The Prop Hunt is literally the new thing. Which, I mean, Prop Hunt's fun. I get like TikToks on my feed of like this dude who who makes like funny reactions to people that didn't see him or something while he was standing still, and they're really funny. Like prop hunt's actually fun. I don't know how it's gonna work in WoW, because prop hunt, like, you have literally like you have a gun in that game that you shoot. So like, is one team gonna have like weapons that they aim, like siege vehicles, or is it like tag? I feel like it could flop if it's not done well. Like there's no FP. How would you make an FPS? Like maybe they drive like the Tonka tank little toy and they have a cursor that they can aim and shoot. That's the only way you could replicate that part of it. If it's just like tag, I don't even know if it's gonna work. Oh yeah, the Plunderstorm. But we already knew that. That stuff is that, dude. That Plunderstorm game thing is being kicked down the road. Like I thought that was gonna come out for the pre-patch, and now it's getting kicked down the road until like halfway through midnight. So either they had to temporarily suspend it to work on midnight, or it's that big of a development. I'm not sure. You rushed home to watch a midnight ad. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying before I went into the video. I'm like, I kind of have expectations low for new stuff because there's no way they're going to throw that before BlizzCon. But then I was like, they're hyping this video up a lot. I feel like people are going to be upset if they don't do something. Like from a PR standpoint. Like I kind of want to look at what Twitter looks like. Like I feel like Twitter is probably good. People are mad. But again, it's because the people that I follow on Twitter are in specific lanes of content, right? They either don't know anything else exists or they actively hate anything else that exists. They literally only want their zone, their lane. Is BlizzCon going to be more for the Last Titan? I assume, yeah. I assume. I'm not going to lie. Given this announcement and how much hype they're putting into BlizzCon, they have to announce more than the Last Titan. Because, like, we know the Last Titan. We don't know the specifics of the Last Titan, but like they can play a cinematic or whatever. But I feel like they need more than the Last Titan with how much they're just like, what are they? They're stretching this hype out, and if it has to pay, it has to pay off at some point. They have to make it pay off. Grimma, I think with the 4 months. Yeah, it was just hide and seek, and you have to click on the person. But if that's not going to work. It has to be a ranged way of interacting with the prop. Did I hear about the bug? What bug? Maybe they'll revamp all characters' movements, posture, and hairstyle. The 0%, bro. That would be super expensive. I would doubt that, bro. Bro, we've gotten 5 new dwarf skins over like 15 years. You think they're going to revamp all of the character movement? I don't think so. Yeah, I swear it's in Bonnie's game. I swear that too. Yeah, the one that he made that was in Darkshard, or was it Duskwood? I swear that is what they're making. They're making an Among Us or something, a World of Warcraft Among. The fact that they did prop hunt, they're definitely gonna do Among Us. I think they also did like Connect 4 in the pre-patch. There's like a little mini Connect 4 mini game or something. Get a level 1 hype train, dude.
Has been unlocked.
For 1 sub.
Spam your memes.
We're party moding right now, dude.
There exists a legend.
We'll get a new type of orc with interior posture.
From the chat.
It looks like they're playing Twister with melee weapons. You don't like the spiraling around?
They sought not glory, but to gift.
I feel like they should have announced MDI and AWC with this.
And give some.
But then again, maybe people would have been mad. But the fact that they announced that player tournament, or the housing tournament.
The relentless, the unstoppable. On the other, XPS
like we still haven't heard any news with that.
The madman.
What are players expecting there? Didn't TBC just release? Are we really thinking about a Classic Plus coexisting with retail?
The gift war.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it just feels like, I feel like Classic people are getting baited. Is that stupid to feel that way? I feel like Classic people are getting baited to watch a retail ad. Like, is that a silly assessment? Am I wrong to sit here and if you're like a Classic Andy, you feel baited into watching a midnight ad right now?
DR1 Ma.
Because like there wasn't really anything for you that you didn't already know. I I swear this was like a classic Andy Midnight bait, dude. A Swapperino, dude. Yeah, that's if they don't do something serious with Classic Plus, I feel like they're gonna be getting baited. As retail and classic player, I still felt me.
Everybody gets a sub.
I mean, I think housing is cool. I'm glad that it exists for the people that are enjoying it. I think it's a great feature. I think what's nice about it too is that it gets new people in the door in the creative field. And then they're probably going to be like, if they ever get bored of housing, they're going to be like, what else does the game have? And then that means other parts of the game gets more players. I don't think it's bad to have more range of content in the game.
Why are they fighting?
But I just feel like they hyped this video up so much, and classic people especially. Like, they were making videos, like, theory crafting what they're going to talk about with classic. In reality, they just got sat down in front of a midnight ad. Like, here you go, you got the last mop patch, and you got the, and you already know how TBC ran, like, you already did it. S-Fan was dressed up!
Time remaining 2 minutes.
I think you need to chill about feeling like a sucker as a PvP player. I think that this next month and a half, the fact that they added enemy damage to the damage meter, I think is a really good sign. Because in PvE, did they really have a good reason to do that? Like, maybe if you wanted to know like how a boss hit you. I guess I'd have to see if bosses even show up on it or not. I think we have to wait. I think it's too early to
Type 1 if you're hiding
get too tilted.
subs.
I mean, like their goal with this expansion is simplifying the classes and getting a better on-ramp for new players. That's those are the two main goals. So we need to focus on those as like, are they succeeding on that front? Is the on-ramp getting better? Are new players coming in, right? Because that's what their goal is. That's the directive. That's where the focus needs to be. Like, you can focus on, like, I don't like this thing about my class, or that class is super overpowered. But that stuff will, I feel like, at least the overpowered stuff will get sorted out. If you don't like your class, I don't know how much. That's just like, he's trying to read into the Aussie tribute.
Have given much.
Because it's a hint at classic.
Rinley stands, catching breath.
I swear Blizzard just pulled the biggest, just, like, switcherino, bro. They're like Indiana Jones, and they just switched out the golden egg with a rock for classic players. Like, here, watch the midnight ad.
Who will break first?
Classic Plus.
30 seconds. Time is running out. One more round.
I like if you were a classic person watching this, I feel like you feel probably baited.
The gift wall.
Yeah, what is the ambassador
There is
thing?
only
Because I swear
12
they've had that
seconds
before.
left.
Don't we already kind of have that with content creators? Am I silly to assume that? Like, if someone's making guides and helping the community on YouTube, they're already an ambassador. You know what I mean? They don't need a title. They already are technically an, like, they're not an official ambassador, but they are an ambassador, right? Yeah, you guys are saying that, like, you feel let down as a PvP player. Imagine being a classic player coming into this video. I literally don't. The only thing you got was like, better watch BlizzCon. That's it. And at least, I guess, at least they talked about it first. I will say that they didn't completely bait you. They did talk about classic stuff first. So if you didn't care about Midnight, you could leave. It wasn't a complete bait. Not a complete bait. It would have been a bait if they did Midnight first and then made you wait to tell you. I will say that was smart on their part. That was very intelligent on their part to do classic first, considering you didn't have like anything other than watch BlizzCon and then do Midnight later. It wasn't a complete bait. I guess it was a confirmation. But is it though? Because she, like, what did she say? Wait a minute. I need to.
The midnight.
What did she say?
At home in Azeroth.
What did she say exactly?
Heartbeat and Rufus Holmes. Classic
Okay, this is the Rufus part.
We're excited to be partnering with.
I'm not gonna lie, this video feels kind of templated from the last year one. I swear there was some sort of charity thing that they did for that as well. feels kind of templated.
Decorating, mogging, PvPing, exploring, whatever. A fantasy home in every sense.
At least her voice didn't change when she said the word PvP. They didn't post record that and edit it in.
Strangers become friends and friends become neighbors. And we have a plan to help those of you looking for your people. Those players who enjoy the same things in WoW.
When did she say the classic thing?
We're calling it the WoW Ambassador Program.
I swear this already exists. I swear, my concern with like the ambassador program, great idea, you know, in concept, like you got somebody who's at the top of the community and they're going to help other people. But anytime I've seen someone, they do this community council type of stuff, it ends up going to those players' heads. They get egos and and nothing even happens from it. It's just whoever they get selected for the ambassador program gets a really big ego and a big head and nothing happens. I swear that's happened before. Like, it sounds good on paper, but it ends up just not working at all. I feel like there's already ambassadors, right? Like, you got Raider ambassadors on YouTube, PvP ones, you got dungeon ones, there's going to be probably housing ones. Like, those are indirect ambassadors, right? I feel like picking someone on the forums and then just giving them the ambassador title, anytime I've seen that happen, it just goes completely to their head. They get an inflated ego of self-importance and nothing even happens from it. You're just artificially inflating the ego in the head of some random people on the forums. Revamp the group finder. I mean, I think they kind of need to figure out a way to make delves like Mythic Plus, but maybe they're afraid to do that. So that way you can have like a competitive format and a leaderboard without needing a group. You know what I mean? It'd be like solo queue PvE. What would it be? Oh, I would like to see them try more with PvE PvP content, like Island Expeditions. Island Expeditions was PvE VP. But I guarantee their metrics for PvP Island Expeditions were terrible because back in BFA, why would you queue for a PvP island when you can just queue for the easy mode PvE one, get done with it, and go back to what you were doing? If you queue the PvP one, there's a chance you lose, and it takes more time. Like, the majority of people in the game are trying to minimize their time on content so they can get to the content that they prefer the most. So if Islands isn't their main form of content, they just want to do the fastest. Yeah, but the PvP Islands, I thought they were fine, at least until they introduced the Demolisher tank or whatever. I thought that was a little bit excessive. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you think it's going to be an extraction? No, I think it's going to be an Among Us, dude. They did Prop Hunt. They've done Connect 4, they did Prop Hunt, and I swear it's going to be Among Us. I swear the Island Expedition format as a PvP mode where you queue against another team, I swear it's I'm sad that they abandoned that idea, with BFA. I swear they should just randomly scale up the PvP Island Expeditions and have a weekend, like a brawl, like the brawl weekends, and it can be the Island PvP Expedition weekend, and you get more conquest or whatever, just to see if people like it or not. It won't happen for Legion and BFA. Yeah, I feel like I do think eventually you're pushing too far. You're no longer milking nostalgia. I think that's what happened with MoP, right? Like Kata and MoP have much less nostalgia. So the nostalgia is for Wrath, TBC, and Vanilla. That's where the majority of the nostalgia is for the millennials at the moment. I mean, they're doing a giant PvP zone. Like, the new BG is literally the skin for the zone. I mean, I would love PvP world quests oriented around Horde versus Alliance. I'd like that too. It would be nice if there was a weekly quest that pops up in Stormwind for the Horde to attack Stormwind or something. or anything, right? Like a random house, attack Red Ridge Mountains or something. And then there's a quest for the opposite faction to defend it or something. Just like a weekly pop-up to the old zones. I think that would be worth doing. I don't know if they'll do it, but I wanted to see what she said exactly with the classic thing.
Listen to your feedback and act on it.
Okay, this is where
With
she
your
talked
help,
about feedback.
Incredibly vibrant and getting brighter. What is the state of Azeroth? It's alive in all its forms, incredibly vibrant and getting brighter. And we plan to keep it that way with your help and guidance as we listen
When did
to
she
your
talk about
feedback
classic?
and act on it. Soon you will see us launch Kara, Mag, and more are coming later this year too. We also launched seasonal Titan Reforged realms in Classic for our players in China.
It's got to be around here.
Why?
She said it, right?
Not only are our audiences between Modern and Classic unique, but so are our WoW players in China. We made those realms for them, based on how they play. And that's not all we're cooking up.
Okay.
I can say with confidence that all Classic players across the globe have a lot to look forward to. I'm really excited to announce that... I guess we'll save that for later.
I'm not gonna lie, that is like, they have to say Classic Plus. I'm not gonna like, if we go to BlizzCon after doing that, after that skit, if we go to BlizzCon and it's not Classic Plus, they are going to be so mad. They are going to be straight up so mad. And what does Classic Plus even mean? Like, what does it even mean? Like, I am not gonna lie. Like that statement right there, like all the hype leading into the, what did she scream? I think she said stop.
To announce that
Holly, stop. Wait, what did she say?
I'm really excited to announce that
I can't understand the second word she says. It's Holly something.
I can say with confidence that all Classic players across the globe have a lot to look forward to. I'm really excited to announce that
Holly something. It's her name, and I assume stop. Holly no. Yeah, it's got to be like Holly stop. There's no leak in there. There's no leak. It's just stop. It's got to be Holly stop. There's no word there's a leak in that. There's no way there's a leak in that random shout. There's no way. I'm not gonna lie, this one little skit part of it was nice because it made it feel less corporate. I feel like most of this video felt very corporate and very templated, and this made it feel like she actually has like a funny facial reaction to it. Like everything else felt very like, careful, don't move. We need to be very serious. Like for most of it. Take 58? You think she said take 58? There's no way. She definitely says Holly. That's her name. I mean, obviously it's a planned video and it wasn't live, but I'm just saying like this at least made it feel less corporate. You know, I don't know how to explain this, you know, like, yeah, it just felt like a slideshow. Like I'm in a corporate meeting. You know what I mean? This moment made it feel less like that.
confidence that all Classic players across the globe have a lot to look forward to.
That statement right there. If you don't say Classic Plus at BlizzCon, they are going to be so mad. If you just say we're doing Wrath of the Lich King again, I swear they're going to be so mad. I swear they're going to be so mad.
I'm really excited to announce that
it's 100% Holly stop. She says Holly stop 100%.
I guess we'll save that for later. So
10,000%, bro. If there is not Classic Plus, because I feel like the Classic people felt baited at the last BlizzCon when they did SOD. I swear that like originally they were pretty excited about it because they thought it was Classic Plus, but then SOD wasn't really Classic Plus, and I think there was disappointment there when it didn't match the expectations. And that's what I'm worried about, is like what even is Classic Plus in the head of a Classic player? Holly don't? Yeah, maybe that was it's just Holly stop or Holly don't. There's no leak in that. I'm just trying to say that like They just hyped a lot of people up to watch this, to then hype them up again to watch BlizzCon. So, like, if it doesn't match the expectation for what the classic community wants, which is, again, I don't even know exactly what it is that they want. I think there's going to be so many people mad. There's going to be so, like, this is the announcement of an announcement. I mean, SOD was Classic Plus, but I think what they mean is, like, they want an expansion that isn't TBC. I think that's what they want. To me, that's what Classic Plus means. Classic Plus means you want, like, 60 to 70, but we don't go through the Dark Portal. We go somewhere else. To me, that's what it is. Like, if I was somebody who wanted Classic Plus, that would be my expectation. We're going to go to level 70, but it's a different timeline. And a different enemy is important at this point, and we're going to go somewhere else. That is what Classic Plus is. Like, that is, like, the core baseline identity of what Classic Plus is, to me, as more of a retail indie player, so I could be totally wrong. But if I was expecting something for Classic Plus, that's what I'd be expecting. I wouldn't be expecting Classic, where the mobs do 20% more damage or have some random effects spawning on, like Diablo, you know what I mean? Like some random extra affixes on the existing world. That isn't Classic Plus. To me. Classic Plus is you're doing an expansion from Classic that isn't TBC. I mean, maybe you could do the same class design. Maybe you keep the talent trees the same as TBC, but it's different raids. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that could be sufficient. But to me, that's what Classic Plus is. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. I mean, like, what even would be the development cost to be able to do that? I just feel like, how are they going to do that? Like, how much did they expand the Classic team to be able to do something of that scale? But to me, that's what they would have to nail. Well, yeah, exactly. All the scrapped Classics content and turn that into endgame stuff or whatever, right? You want to play SOD? Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people considered SOD retail minus. This is why I'm saying that, like, this concept of Classic Plus is so hard to meet, because everyone's expectations are completely different. Some people want what you're saying. Other people would hate it. Other people are like, oh, they just put retail spells in Classic, and now it's retail minus. Because I think that was the sentiment for at least a significant portion of people playing SOD, at least at some portion of its journey, was that they were saying that it felt like retail minus. That's why, to me, like, Classic Plus is you're doing an expansion off vanilla that isn't TBC. And like I said, maybe you can take the talent trees or whatever, and don't even the class design is the same or whatever. What is that? What is that link that you just sent? What is this? What is Guzu reacting to? Is he mad?
No time for play.
Oh, he doesn't like the housing cinematic? He doesn't like the big manly orc running with the pink flamingo? He doesn't like that, dude? He doesn't like the big manly orc playing with the... What's wrong with that, bro? What's wrong with that? So you got a problem with that, bro? What's wrong with that? Bro, he is not excited about this. Oh, he's just bouncing back and forward from the Warcraft 3 cinematic.
Heroes arise to challenge fate and lead their brethren to battle.
This cinematic was fire, bro. This cinematic was fire. I will give him that. I liked this housing cinematic for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, for what it is, I thought it was good. It's obviously not this. It's obviously not this. But, like, for housing, I feel like that was a fitting ad. Maybe not for the overall theme of the game, but for housing feature, I think that ad was good. Bro. My God, dude. The nod to the reverb cutout meme was high-key funny in the housing video. I swear that housing cinematic was a good cinematic. Even though it's not big sweaty orcs or whatever, like for the feature that it was, I think that was a good ad. And this isn't even me trying to be a shill or a sellout. I actually thought that that was a good ad. It was well produced. The animation was clean on it. It had funny moments. I legitimately thought that was a good ad. Obviously, if you were doing an ad for not housing, I think it might have been a little bit too light. You know, like we're literally going into midnight. We're going into the void. We're going into the potential destruction of the planet. So like an ad for the overall game looking fluffy and friendly and we're playing with pink flamingos, it's probably not the right vibe, right? It's probably not the right vibe. But that ad wasn't for the game as a whole. That ad was just for the housing. Maybe it was for the game as a whole. I don't know. I don't really know. Is there any sign we will play as Amani Trolls? Yeah, I've seen. There's so many people mad about Amani Trolls and no purple eyes on Void Demon Hunters. You think it's a corporate Disney game? Wait, I want to watch the cinematic now again. Dude, the start of this cinematic is like insane though. It's like dark and mysterious and look at this. Look at the start of it though. Is this really like a Disney? It starts out really intense. I swear this animation is good, bro. Like, what are you, like... I swear the start of this is really dark. Like, it's edgelord. Maybe not, like, super edgelord. This looks good. Like, this is visually appealing as far as animation, right? But is it Warcraft animation? I don't know. But like the opening of the cinematic is sick. Like the fight scene is sick. This does feel kind of like League of Legends. Yeah, like Overwatch, League of Legends a little bit. Like the structure and it does kind of feel like that. But it's not bad. I mean, it's also a funny juxtaposition of showing like the intense thing that you're doing to get the reward and then the funny dopamine reaction that you get after you get it, right? I thought that was funny. Like, this is a good juxtaposition on a cinematic. It starts off really dark, edgy, cool animations, right? Like this is what you'd expect for midnight. Like, there's void dudes, the faces look sick and gnarly. Like, this is a good opening to the cinematic. Like, look at that little ooze going out of his body when he gets cut. I swear the opening is nice. It's really intense. And then they flash it for the juxtaposition to where you're like super excited because you got your best in slot loot, which is kind of comedic. So it takes a little of a comedic turn. And the reason it turns to comedic is because it's showcasing the game as a whole. It's showcasing that you can be an intense competitor fighting for rewards and then also chill back in your house. So like you get the little happy, you got the housing decor, whatever it is you were going after, and then you go back home and then you go chill in your house. Like, it's trying to show what the game is, right? So then you're walking around the neighborhood. They try to make it look like Orgrimmar or whatever, Durotar. I think it's a good cinematic. And again, they're trying to like meme, right? Like taking the big work orcs. I feel like it could have been funny if they threw in a voice line from the orcs going like work or something. Like, that could have been funny, but this is like a minor thing. Again, they're showing the juxtaposition of these like really masculine orcs just carrying around pink flamingos. Right? Like they're just built like it's supposed to be a juxtaposition. Right? Like, show, like, that's the whole point of it. Look at, and then they're dropping the flamingos and stuff. Like the orc workers have been memed on since Warcraft 3, right? And even in Vanilla WoW, where you run around with like a stick and you wake them up. Honestly, they should have done that. They should have thrown in a sleeping orc, and then the Death Knight or whoever's there that's building the house could have smacked the sleeping orc to wake him up, and got like a little bit of a vanilla in there or whatever. then you go back to your house. And then you're proud of your accomplishment. You built your house. You got your new whatever it was. Little random eyeball thing. I didn't even notice that the first time I watched this. He's like excited to get out of the box. And then I swear what's funny is that they make it look like a crown and you're like expecting it to be this giant trophy. And then they turn it into a stove. That was funny, bro. I swear this is a good cinematic. I swear, like you know, like the Dragonflight cinematic didn't really have like character. It felt just kind of like, yeah, it's just a templated RPG cinematic. You know, there's an orc and there's a dwarf and a troll and a dragon. And it's just like, it didn't have any personality. But like this has personality, which I prefer that. And look at the little Pepes. You didn't even notice this the first time you watched this. The little Illidan Pepe and the other different Pepes that you've collected on the top of the house or whatever. It's a bracer. Yeah, but I'm just saying that like they hype up. The start of the cinematic is like super intense, and they get this loot, this crown, and you're expecting like some big moment with this crown, right? Like you just beat these 3 ghouly gob things, and then they turn it into a stovetop, which is supposed to play off of the unexpected result of player housing, right? Like I don't even think they expected people to make floating houses. That was literally an accident. I think they were trying to patch to remove floating houses, but then they realized, oh shit, they actually like that. We shouldn't remove it. That was literally a fluke that happened. And then people building pianos out of random items. Like this is supposed to be an ad that like you can turn the housing decor into anything. Yeah, you might have found this cool crown from whatever mob you killed, but now you can turn it into a stove. Like this is a good ad for player housing. You see this? Like it lights it on fire and starts making tea with it. I'm telling you, this is a good cinematic for people who like player housing. I swear this is a good cinematic. And it has character. I agree, like the art style feels more like Overwatch. It's not a bad art style, but it does feel a little bit more like Overwatch. But maybe that's also like, maybe that's a good vibe for player housing because it's more like Hearthstone or whatever. Oh, it's a little foreshadowing to having a pet also inside the house. I mean, I feel like you could pause all these frames and try and like analyze the different items on the thing and try to figure out what's going on. But I swear this was a good ad. Out of like, you know, the more recent ads, I feel like this was a good ad. Or a good cinematic or whatever. Cope? What do you mean I'm cope? What? Player housing wasn't made to make everyone build a house and be impressed. It was made to allow people who want to play WoW and still do things like RP. Well, exactly. This was for... That's why I said that, like I don't even really do a lot with the player housing. I haven't been back there. But that doesn't matter. It's not like... It's for a different type of player. And, like, the people who watch dungeon content creators or PvP content creators or whatever content creators, like, we're all tunnel vision to the thing that we want to do, right? But I thought that was a good cinematic. I think that cinematic had character. It had a good balance of like the seriousness and like the weight of what's going on in Midnight. And then also that, hey, there's downtime and you can go to the house or whatever. So, I mean, I agree that it wasn't the Warcraft 3 cinematic. That's for sure. But I feel like that's what the official Midnight cinematic was for, right? Like, if that was the cinematic for Midnight and nothing else, I would say, yeah, it wasn't a great cinematic. But that's not the Midnight cinematic. The Midnight cinematic is Liadrin at the Sunwell praying for reinforcements and then fighting Xalatath, right? And that fits. That's a good cinematic for what it is. But I thought that cinematic was fine for what it is. It's for player housing. They didn't even need to include the void fighting thing, honestly, for a player housing cinematic. I mean, to be fair, I think it all comes in waves, right? Like, if you think that player housing is going to ride this popularity forever, everything comes in waves. Everything comes in waves. There's going to be periods where Mythic Plus goes low, and PvP might even go higher than it. Maybe I'm coping with saying that, but I swear there's going to be times where certain pieces of content in WoW go through phases. And that's why it's good that they have a bunch of different content. So if you're playing and you feel burnt out on PvP, you can try Mythic Plus and you keep playing the game and there's still something for you. Or if you got bored of your house, you don't want to decorate it anymore, you can go do the raid. That's why I'm saying like putting in more stuff for the game as a whole to retain players, obviously from a business standpoint is a good idea for them, but also for just retaining players for the community is good. But yeah, I think it would be naive to assume that player housing is always going to ride really high. It's new. It's honeymoon dopamine. It will come down at some point. Yeah, I also doubt that the people making, like, they're not choosing to do this player housing and then not developing the rest of the game. I don't think there's no way. The best stuff that Blizzard has made is usually them copying a formula and putting a twist on it. That's usually, what's the best. But as far as like new stuff from this, I feel like they bait and switched classic players. I swear that like they have to be really careful. Now maybe the classic Andes are just super nostalgia addicted and they'll replay re-releases of classic expansions indefinitely. I think that's entirely possible, but I feel like they are setting up expectations very high. Very, very high right now for BlizzCon classic news. And I just don't know if they will be able to match the expectations that they're setting right now, is my biggest concern. I'm definitely getting new players. It's an old game, man, right? Like, I think the player housing is a good attempt at getting new players. Because there's a lot of people who like playing Sims. I mean, think about it from a conceptual standpoint. You get to have your own mark in World of Warcraft. It's your house. It's like you feel like you're making a permanent mark in the game. There's some value to that. I do think that I do wish that what am I trying to say? I can't even think. I wish that they didn't seemingly abandon Horde versus Alliance. Because obviously, like, endgame competitive players, we wanted to queue cross-faction for endgame content, but that didn't mean that we wanted to drop it narratively. You know? To me, like, the endgame leaderboards, like Mythic Raid, Dungeons, and PvP, that exists as a segment of the universe. You got to think about it literally separate. And you should build them to be able to play the game most optimally. But I feel like the narrative for Horde versus Alliance, like, it does feel like it's kind of lost. You know, see heads rolling in cinematics. Well, they just leaked, or not leaked, I don't know, Gamer PC or whatever, Gamer something like that, just did a tweet where they talked about how Midnight, or maybe it's also the next expansion after that, how main characters are going to be going down. And I mean, hey, look at, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they showed the gladiator mount. Like we actually have like an animation for it. Oh my bro, if they added in-game marriage or something, like you could like trigger a, I guess you can organize it yourself though. People do that, right? I don't think you really need like the game itself to produce that. What about main characters? They've said that there's going to be some serious consequences. Basically, there are stakes for like main characters in either this expansion, Midnight, or the next one. But there's going to be big stakes for characters going down. Pika will leave Classic for good if they add relationships in retail. Why? Who's he marrying in retail? Is he going to marry Zaryu? Isn't Zaryu already married? trying to please two polar opposites? How are they trying to please two polar opposites, though? I don't understand. What did they do in this video that you think that that's what they're doing? I feel like no matter what, you're going to have people who are like, they're super hardcore to classic only. They don't want to touch anything related to retail. And then vice versa. You have people at retail who don't want to touch anything related to classic. But I also think there's a blurred line of people now. There's an increasingly growing blurred line where some people do switch over, you know, and try some classic, and they switch over and they try some retail. And I actually wonder if that gap is, you know, I guess closing, not widening. There's more people. There's less division. What are you trying to link, Dimpa? What is that? Okay. What are we looking at? We already, everything on, like, the thing with the classic stuff is everybody already knew all this, right? Like, we didn't know exactly when, like phase 4 and phase 5 or whatever, but like, you knew it was going to happen. I definitely agree that like we need like a home run. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, that it feels like expectations are very high. Because this is like fluff, right? Like for if you're a classic player, you already knew all this stuff. The only thing that I'm like somewhat concerned about is that they actually say Arena Season 3 on the Burning Crusade timeline, but they don't up here. That's like a very minor thing, right? Like that's me being like super nitpicky or whatever. It's like, oh, my thing is not included here, you know, like the word or whatever. But I mean, they technically didn't include PvP season for the MOP one either. There's like, there's no arena season on the MOP stuff. Oh yeah, it says season 2. I guess this new dungeon, new delve stuff is just separate from that, I guess. I don't know. There's so many different communities they need to consider that this list would just be long as hell also. I think they were probably more excited to say that there's like more raids more frequently, right? Okay, well, what I'm still trying to figure out exactly what we got out of this. Classic is literally just wait for BlizzCon, and hopefully they will be able to match your expectations. Retail is a new structure of raids that I think is going to make Race to World First players very mad. Although maybe it'll make them less mad, because like I assume there's not going to be, like for the raid here, you're already going to be geared up for it. So you probably just like go into the raid and then that's it. You're just racing as opposed to doing split runs. But as from a production standpoint, I don't think they're going to be able to. Max was excited about it. They think they're going to be able to produce, like, are they expecting this boss to last 2 weeks or something? I feel like it's so expensive to get a studio running for Race to World First. If it doesn't last multiple weeks, like, maybe I'm dumb. I don't know the exact specifics of it. Shorter seasons or extra season 4 will be best. The thing is they tried shorter seasons in Legion, and then the average player couldn't even finish their character because it was so short. So they can't really do shorter seasons, even though it's better for the dedicated player, right? Like, I mean, a lot of players right now feel like there's nothing to do because there's no Mythic Plus season, there's no PP season. So like this pre-patch is long, and I feel like there's nothing to do. But they tried to do shorter seasons in Legion, and I liked it, and the people who played competitively liked it. Because it felt like there was like an event to play for, right? Like the end of the season for a title and a mount, that feels like an event, in the game. So only having that happen twice a year instead of 4 or 5 times a year just means there's less moments like that. Yeah, but like people literally couldn't even get the vicious mounts because the season was so short. Most people couldn't finish that. Because I mean, if they wanted higher Mythic Plus participation and higher PvP participation, I think you should split a patch into 2 seasons. Like, you play up, and then you play for a title and a mount, and then it stops, and then for the second half of the patch, you're playing for a title and a mount. The main reason I think that would increase participation is FOMO, right? It's like, oh, there's a mount I need to get, and then, okay, now there's another mount I need to get, so I'm going to stay subscribed and keep playing. Whereas leaving it right now with like 1 season of Mythic Plus, you got your Keystone Master, you push your score high enough, you're done. You log out. But splitting it in half gives you another FOMO reward. You felt gatecapped at the start of the season? Well, I mean, that's the thing though, is like for example, if you wanted the Mythic Raid mount from this patch, you literally didn't even need to play the season. You can just go in now with like a pug almost, I think, and you can clear it very easily and get them out. So like, unless you enjoyed playing with the group of people you were with for the whole season, if you were literally only playing for the mount, you just wasted like months, right? Because you could have just waited for the pre-patch, logged on, and basically got it for free. It's the same thing with PvP though. When you play at the start of the season, rating is deflated. So it's very hard to get like 1800 rating for the elite set. If you just wait, it gets a lot easier to get it. That's just all the content in WoW. It kind of just feels like if you just wait, if all you care about is the items, you can just wait, and then there's going to be an easier way of getting it. Should have kept the season open longer. I don't know. I think they were in a weird spot. Like, at least PvP wise, I think people were burning out on the season. But at the same time, this pre-patch doesn't feel like it's got like enough juice to have it run as long as it's going to be running. I mean, unless there's more to it. Maybe they're like this event ramps up week to week or something. I don't know. Yeah, I was wondering where Mop is going to go as well. Because I feel like a lot of people, they're really invested in those characters. So if they just say like, yep, the Mop servers are going to keep running, but it's not going anywhere, Mop is dead if that happens. You play for a couple of hours a week and you hit 2400 every season in the War Within. I prefer it that way because I can have a life. It's way better than it used to be. I don't understand how did it used to be? To be fair, I like if they are going to stop Mop, if that is a potential future option for them, I think they should offer transfers to retail. The main reason is because that's a good conversion. Like, the players who just played through TBC, Wrath, Kata, and Mop Classic have a bunch of mounts they unlocked, a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of investment, a sunken cost, right? If you let them bring their characters on retail, they will be drawn to play retail in the future because of the investment that you made with them through Classic. I actually do think they should, like, if they're going to do this like looping Classic thing where you every 2 years you go back and replay it, they should offer to transfer to retail, just because you will convert that player to a retail player because they care about that character now. They've got that person to have investment on that character through the achievements and mounts they got through it, and they want to play. The only danger of doing that is then, as a retail player, you feel forced to play Classic because you can get the mounts that you can't get anymore, right? So you will feel forced to play Classic. There could be some issues there. But 100%, I would try to get gladiator mounts, right? Like, I would want to try and get TBC gladiator mounts if I know at the end of TBC I can transfer my character to retail. I would want to. the mop PvP illusion, whatever it is, right? The only reason you wouldn't do that is if you feel like you're forcing people to do stuff, but they already kind of force you to do stuff, right? Like Plunderstorm comes out, you have to do it for the new stuff before it goes away. They're already doing that. They're just not doing it with Classic. You only did the mop tutorial for the mount. I mean, yeah, but the thing is they have stuff like that for all their games, right? Like a new Hearthstone comes out and it's like, play Hearthstone for 10 minutes and get a mount and WoW. Like they're just trying to get you through the door and see if you like it or not. Because otherwise you might not have given it the time of day. Well, you'd still have to earn it. I think it's something they should consider. Because I think if they are intending, and I don't know, right? If they are intending that mop just ends like it looks like it does right here. You see how nothing happens after it? I'm not going to lie. If their announcement at BlizzCon is WoD Classic, after hyping up Classic players, they're going to get the biggest wave of outrage I've probably ever seen from a community. They're going to be so livid. Because, like, that's, like, the expectation is, like, why wouldn't they announce anything down here? Well, what comes after MOP? WoD? Are you going to announce WoD at BlizzCon after, like, hyping the hell out of your Classic community? You've just hyped the hell out of them off this most recent video. Because they were going into this expecting something, and there wasn't. It was just hyping them up for this. If you go into BlizzCon and the main Classic news is, like, WoD... I swear, even if it's like a new seasonal thing, they're still going to be mad. Like, they want an expansion off of Classic. To me, that's what the predominant expectation of Classic Plus is that you're doing an expansion that isn't TBC. And I just feel like there's no way they're doing that. I would be happily disappointed and they randomly say they are doing that, but I feel like that's so insane. That's an insane amount of work to do an expansion off of Classic that isn't TBC. That I don't see that being realistic. So, but like they have strung them along so hard. If the only Classic news at BlizzCon is that WoD is here, oh my God, bro, they are going to be so mad. They're going to be so mad. There's just no way. I swear there would be legitimate riots from the Classic community if we get to BlizzCon and the only Classic news is that WoD is here. Oh my God, bro. I mean, we fully expect TBC is going into Wrath. There's no way. This is going to be like an automated pilot phase, I think, to get people to play Classic. I think they should consider transferring Classic characters to retail like Legion Remix characters. I think they should consider it. I would be more invested to play TBC if I knew that I got Gladiator in Season 1, that I could get the mount on my retail account. I actually would. I would probably sweat it out. But the reason that I don't want to is because I feel like this character is eventually going to go into stasis. And like I'm never going to be able to play it. You know what I mean? Because, like, where even is my TBC tune that I played the other time? It's just on a server dead, and I'm never going to log in it again. So, like, what's the point of sweating out to get this if, like, a few months later, it's just a dead character? Imagine if they made WoD implemented housing into garrisons. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that. If they do that, you'll quit WoW because nothing is sacred anymore. Yeah, but technically you're earning it legitimately. Like, as long as they don't change the game, you are playing TBC Season 1. For sure, bro. If the Glad mounts became transferable from, like, the amount of people that would move to this would be astronomical. Yeah, but they're not giving the Glad mounts out. Do you understand how hard it was to get Gladiator, even in TBC Classic? The cutoff was crazy, bro. What do you mean there's no urgency? The urgency is that this will eventually end, and then you're going to have to wait 3 years until it comes back. or whatever until it's re-released. Oh my god, yeah, dude, imagine how many people would flood into Mop Classic if you knew that you could take the challenge modes from Mop Classic into retail. Bro, the population of Mop would just like quadruple at 100x or something. You would install it today. I just mean, like, if you're playing the actual authentic experience of it and you earn it, I think that's fair. What I don't think is fair is if you're playing, like, Midnight Season 1 class design is not the same as getting Gladiator in Phase 1 TBC. It's just not the same game. It's not the same accomplishment. So you shouldn't be able to get the mount for a different, a different accomplishment. How many % people do you think the Glad mount will increase? I'm not going to lie. I feel like basically most of the changes, like the actual result, is going to be like mid-level players, like Duelist, They're probably going to have a better experience. I still think new people are going to just not at all. I don't see like completely new people. But like Duelist mid-level players will have a better experience because they're in Gladiator range without even getting any better, right? Like you got bumped into it because the threshold got pushed down. So they'll be excited about it. So it's like, how many people are in that boat? Like, how many players is that actually? You're more okay with the challenge modes rather than the Glad mounts and the rank 1 titles? Make it bring back the mob, scale the mob challenge modes. I mean, they could do that, right? They did it with the Mage Tower, but they gave new rewards for the Mage Tower. I'm one of the terminal duelists looking forward to the change. Yeah, to me, that the expectation for that change is that mid-level players will now get Gladiator, so they're going to be happy about that. But will it encourage someone who's 0 rated to try? Probably not. I don't think it will. I think it's still too high for a completely new player. The reward for the Mage Tower is like a recolored class set and then a mount and then a bear form skin for if you're a Guardian Druid. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's the point where I'm at. I'm at the point where it's like, if it makes more people play, I'm more on board with that. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it would make more people play TBC, not retail. Mind you, like I said, if your character from Classic gets transferred over to retail, you're probably going to play retail because you're invested in that character. You put like 5 years of Classic content, got a bunch of mounts on it. Like, it's recreating that sunken cost fallacy for new players that you can't really do with retail as much. Is there any news for PvP? We can play Prop Hunt. Who's going to queue Prop Hunt against me? It won't let you start TBC? Are they resetting the servers or something? Oh yeah, if they announced it for OG Classic, dude, Scarab Lord would be... They will, yeah. End stream? I probably am going to end the stream. I just wanted this to be like a reaction to it, to the video, and then I was going to go to the gym, and then I was going to come back, and then we were going to play the beta, was kind of the goal for this stream. So, I mean, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this announcement. I feel like it mostly, there was a couple of surprises. Like I did this labyrinth thing and the prop hunt thing. I didn't expect that. But for the most part, this was kind of what I was expecting, given that they're doing BlizzCon. and that's got to be where they're doing like the big stuff, right? So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will catch you guys later this afternoon. Adios, amigos, and ciao.